Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make very sweet and flaky meat pie. So inside the bowl I went in with flour, added some baking powder and a pinch of salt before adding my butter. I'm going to be adding the ingredients and the measurements in the description box, so do not worry. Then after it was crumbly, I added my milk and then I mixed together gently and thoroughly. I continued mixing and mixing and mixing until it became a dough. You have to be patient with this. So after it became a dough, guys, I decided to knead. One thing about meat pie is you don't have to knead it too much. It doesn't need so much kneading. You just have to make sure that it is properly incorporated and well mixed together. So to avoid my dough from sticking onto the board was why I added flour onto the board, and then I needed just a little bit more. So after it became this shape, I popped it into a bowl. I covered with a cling film before popping into the fridge for about 30 minutes while I started to do my filling. So I went into the pan with vegetable oil, diced onions, some curry powder, thyme before going into it with my minced meat. I added some seasoning cube, added some Scotch bonnet pepper and salt. Please be okay to skip the Scotch bonnet part. I'm just a Nigerian that likes pepper so much. So because my pan was too small, I had to transfer it into a bigger pot. I had already diced my carrots and Irish potatoes, and then I poured it inside, added water, I covered it to cook. And then I made my slurry. This is just basically to thicken the sauce, nothing else. It's just corn flour and water mixed together, and at this point it already looked like what I wanted. It was properly cooked and I took it off the fire. Then I took out my dough from the fridge. I cut it into four parts, and then I started to work on each part separately. So I straightened it out just to make it flat and wide to my satisfaction. And then afterwards, because I did not have a dough cutter, I had to use what I had. So I had to cut with this small bowl, and it came out really nice. It had a really good cut. So I went in with the filling that I'd already prepared. I filled it up and then I covered it. So after covering up, I now had to seal with a fork. If I had a dough cutter, this would have done it perfectly, but the fork served its purpose, so not a bad idea actually. And afterwards, this is what it looked like. So I repeated the process again by straightening out my dough, and I made sure to straighten it out properly so there were no lumps or any side bigger than the other. Then after I had done all that, I then cut out with my bowl again because I don't have a dough cutter like I mentioned earlier. So this time around, after filling my dough with the filling, I used egg. I just broke egg into a bowl and I just brushed the edges just to help seal it better. The first one I didn't do this process, but if you don't want to do it, it's totally fine without the egg wash. It will seal properly as well. Then I used my fork to seal it down, and afterwards I repeated the process for the remaining dough. Then I egg wash. It's just me brushing down with egg. This gives it a very brown color. When you pop it into the oven and you take it out, you discover that it has a very brown color. So after that, guys, I popped it into the oven for about 20-25 minutes, but make sure that you keep checking up on it in between just so it doesn't get burnt. I honestly advise you to do that. So afterwards, after I popped it out of the oven after 25 minutes, this was what it looked like, guys. You can see what I was saying, that it would look really brown with your egg wash. Guys, I enjoyed this so much, and I will 100% recommend that you try it out. You see how it looks flaky? You can see the filling is really nice and looking yummy. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.